Tennessee Volunteers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. And the Ducks ready to get this thing started and open the season. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So the Tennessee Volunteers offense will take the first swing of the game. You know, that connection between quarterback and wide receiver, Jesse, takes some time, and we'll see how quickly these two guys get on the same page.
Yeah, the chemistry between he and the quarterback, I think, is what everybody's going to be looking for early in this game. Because David, obviously, having transferred in, he hasn't had a lot of time in this offense. This is his first game. It's the first time doing it with bullets flying live. So he's got a lot of talent. He's got speed. But what does that chemistry look like with the guy throwing him the football? That's what I want to see.
Well, and the good thing is you've got tape and you've seen he's done it at the college level. Like, you already know what he is. Now it's about taking that, using his strengths. How do you use him in this offense early on in the season to really take advantage of his talents?
Leaves it with the running back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Guys, let's take a minute here and look big picture for Tennessee. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only...
They got him for the sack, and that'll be a turnover on downs. The Ducks offense taking the field. First chance we have to see them today. And here it comes for the first time as a starter, this talented freshman. And Jesse, it seems like quarterbacks mature quicker and quicker these days, and they're ready to grab the reins.
Yeah, you're seeing it more and more, and there's more high school quarterbacks now ready to take the next step and compete and perform in college football. But listen, I started as a true freshman back in Florida. I guarantee you he has so much nervous energy going right now because he has never played in an environment like this, and he has never...
Oh, he's got some space. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. From the shotgun, the inside give. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And you can do a better job up front right there. That run was doomed from the get-go. Nowhere to go. The back gets hit. As soon as he gets the football, hard to succeed as a running back when you get the ball and you get clocked.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great way tonight.
He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming. Good right down the boulevard. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0.
And that's exactly what you want as a coach. You want to drive the ball down the field and get some form of points to create some momentum for your squad to start the season. How about the kicker? 1 for 1 in the year. He's perfect.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. The give to the tailback. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Now the play fake. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Under fire. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again. They'll try to pin them back with the punt. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. He'll field the punt and see what he can get. This drive will get started from the 37-yard line. Give to the back. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Looking to throw on first down. Right down the middle. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play. So now it's second and long. Back to pass. A little screen to the running back. Pick up for 5. It'll be third.
On the screen.
Yeah, and you're going to see this offense find different ways to get this running back involved. It's not just going to be on handoffs, and they're certainly going to line him up in different places and even throw him the football. But the screen game's a big part of it, too. They're trying to get him going there.
That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down. The Ducks will try to convert on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. To the ground with the back. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
And the quickest way to blow up the run game is those interior big boys, those defensive tackles getting in the backfield really quickly and making...
Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. He'll do it himself on the draw. They stop him after a short game, probably just wanted to mitigate the losses with fourth down coming down. The Volunteers will call on their punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Just needs a crack to get a return. He only needs a sliver of daylight.
Sometimes when that other punt returner starts having a lot of success, I ain't kicking it to you. I'm going to kick that thing really high in the air and make sure you call a fair catch, or I'm going to put it near the sidelines and make sure that thing goes out of bounds. So that kind of stuff right there doesn't happen.
Just a short pass to the tight end. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Here's the handoff. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Throwing right. And the big deflection on third down forces a fourth down. The Ducks will bring the punt team onto the field. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. And the punt team gets down there and touches it dead. That's where they'll put it in play. This drive will start at the 6-yard line. To the air, it's Singleton. Pressure coming. Down he goes, and that is the last thing this offense needs right now. First play of the period will be a second down. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They've swapped into the field, and we're ready to go in the second. These guys are bringing serious heat. They are like sharks swarming and just getting after the pass. Had nowhere to go, couldn't get it out of the end zone. He'll take the safety.
You could tell the defense smelled it. They knew exactly where they were on the field, put the pressure on him, got him down in the end zone. Safety, baby.
The returner is tackled down at the 43, and the Oregon offense will take over.
So the first play of the drive will come from the 43. Off the play fake on first down. Makes the catch. It's Dawkins. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39. Now on first down from the 40. To the air on first down. Plucks it out of the air. They make the stop right at the 30-yard line, but it's a 10-yard pickup and a first down. New set of downs after the completion. Might be calling a hot route. Wants to throw on first down. Firing to the right, complete.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Breaks into the open. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. And the Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall down.
The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down. They can't pick up the first without scoring. Dances away to buy time. And he can't find his man in the end zone as he was trying to pay off this red zone chance. Now on fourth down, they'll send out the field goal unit. Just drives it between the uprights. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Hey, guys, got a final score in a big top 25 matchup today. Ole Miss came through with a lunch pail, hard hat performance, and the end result is an eye-opening road victory. And I guess it's not so much that they won.
He lost one down the sideline. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on first down. They're dealing with a second and long. Wants to throw. It's Singleton. They get to him as he throws. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. They come to the line facing third and long from the 25. From the gun, wants to pass. Bring in the heat. He'll pull it down and run. Short gain on the play before he slides. And the Volunteers will punt this one away. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. From the shotgun, they'll run it. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Floating away. Fires on the move. Finds a man on the right. Rolls inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and now they're threatening.
And if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
Grab near the marker. It's Dawkins. Ripping off the huge gain down to the 17-yard line. From the 17-yard line, it's 1st and 10. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. Working that left side now. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Oregon!
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
And with the extra point, they move on top by 15. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Rides gets the back and leaves it on the option. He stopped dead in his tracks again. No running room to be found. They keep trying it and have had very little success. Off play action. Throws to the wideout. Almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. The defense almost came up with a turnover. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Gets the back moving. Back to throw. It's Singleton. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. He's got it. How about this senior picking up some yardage and making a nice play on that one? This offense has had trouble getting it in gear, but maybe a little life here on 1st and 10. Quarterback can pull the trigger and down he goes at the 41.
You can just see the excitement this defense has every play. They're almost wishing this quarterback drops back to throw because they know they're going to get home to him. That's the 6th time they've registered a sack.
This pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. They go to the ground. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line. The Vols are in a mess here on 3rd and a mile. From the gun, wants to pass. They're working that left side. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the 1st down. Despite failing earlier on 4th down, they will try again here. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Down he goes, and the defense snuffs out this drive with a sack. Looking to throw on 1st down. Can't hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be 2nd down.
Man, he was open. He had an opportunity. Just got to look that thing. A lot of times guys are catching it, and as they're catching it, you see their heads start to turn to try to think about getting upfield, and they just lose that concentration for a second. A little missed opportunity there for this offense.
He'll try it again on 2nd and 10. Nothing to do with the football, and he just throws it away. It'll be 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. On 3rd down, going up top. Snagged out of the air. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a 1st down. We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Incomplete pass, and the defense comes up big, and they take over. Looking for a man. It's Singleton. He tosses one high and deep down the left side.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the 1st half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the 2nd half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Here's the pressure. Chunked it away just as he was hit. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. 3rd and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on 4th down. From the gun, wants to pass. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34. Referee signals timeout as the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Punt is on its way. He's got it. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. These last couple of drives, Jesse, have been about the defense making clutch stand.
I think for this offense, they can stay aggressive knowing that their defense is going to bail them out time and time again.
Yeah, and especially when you go for those fourth down situations, you do that a lot of times because you know your defense can make stands, make stops. They did on that last possession for them.
Looking downfield on first down. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You've got to give your QB some time. You've got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. Got his man quickly. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance. The Ducks come to the line with a new set of downs. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. He wants to throw it again. Fires deep toward the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks! They wanted it all, and that is exactly what they got.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when they're throwing it because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
Plenty of time to work. Not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. To throw, it's Singleton. Here comes the heat. And the heat gets there. And they get him down at the 14-yard line. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Now facing second and long after the defense came up with that sack. Looking to fire. Gets it out quickly. And there might have been trouble if they hadn't gotten to him immediately. And the Vols come to the line in the hurry-up. On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Snagged in the middle. It's Reese. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the grab on the left. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. The Volunteers come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Second down, he'll throw it. Looking to the big tight end. It's caught downfield. He stopped at the 32. It'll be a first down in the waning seconds of the half. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. To the air on first down. Makes the catch. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. And here on second down, they'll send out the field goal unit to try to get 3 before the break. Never a doubt.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Here's the return from inside his 10. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Wants to throw on first down. He's going for a big play downfield. He's got it inside the 30. They finally get him stopped. Man, oh man, did he almost make a play to end this half, but stopped on a touchdown-saving tackle. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
All right, guys, a delightful first 2 quarters of football there today in Vegas. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed. He simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double-team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas inside Allegiant Stadium.
All right, Kevin, about ready to get things cranked back up here. And the Volunteers will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. Bringing it out. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Wants to go up top on first down. Moving away from pressure. Makes the grab. At the 35, he's loose. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one. Open the drive with a chunk play out past the 40, and they are in business on first down. Makes it past the marker. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
Yeah, run the football. You're ahead. You can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for a quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Oh, they're after him. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at 42.
How about the big fella right in the middle of this 3-4 defense getting the pass rush? He just anchors down and just pushes the interior of this offensive line right back into the lap of the quarterback.
Throws to the tight end. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. The Ducks will line up to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. And that one will find its way into the end zone for a touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Pulls and fires complete. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Looking for a man. It's Singleton. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a third down. Wow, this offense is doing nothing. They've already punted 4 times and staring at the possibility of a fifth. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. The Vols send out the punt unit. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. He'll get away another punt. He's been really active today, and no doubt he's going to earn his varsity ladder. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. After a punt on their last possession, they are... There he goes! Got enough for the first down and wants more. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get it down. Looking to throw on first down. Unloads to the wideout. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. He's brought that. We waited so long to start the season, and just the way you want to start, getting that first victory.
And the first games are so much fun. You've been practicing against each other over and over all through camp. Now you get to come out, start the season off 1-0, Jesse. Great start.
It was a great start for the winning team. Now, for the losing team, obviously not the way you want to get into this season. There were some mistakes with execution, and guys are going to have to do a better job individually. But that's why you play the games. You get to now go back to the drawing board, get back on the practice field, try and iron out these wrinkles. It's a long season ahead. A lot to play for.
That will put the wrap on things from here.